Hi guys, and for this week's discussion board about classic fairy tales and themes used in modern literature, I chose to analyze the new 2019 Aladdin that was made by Disney. And if you've never seen Aladdin, the remake or the original, it is about a lower class thief named Aladdin who has a sidekick monkey named Abu. And while they're trying to rob the village, they run into Princess Jasmine. And later they go to Princess Jasmine's palace where they find an oil lamp, and while Aladdin rubs it, it releases a powerful, huge genie. And then the rest of the story goes by embarking on the genie and Aladdin's friendship, where they run into an evil sorcerer named Jafar. And Jafar is trying to take over the kingdom that Princess Jasmine's father rules, and he's also trying to take Princess Jasmine to be his wife. So I think that by retelling the story and the recreation of the story, the original one was made in cartoon animation, and I personally enjoyed the live animation more because I feel like they were able to add more vivid and creative scenes, and I enjoyed the new soundtrack a lot more. And I just felt more drawn to the screen, and I felt more wanting to finish the film. And now moving into how this film fits into a fairy tale. So first we have our hero, who is Aladdin. And Aladdin is trying to win Jasmine's love and protect her from Jafar, and also protect the kingdom. And then next we have our villain, and that would be Jafar. And Jafar is on this quest for power, and he just wants everything. He wants to take everything. He wants Jasmine. He wants the village. He wants to be ruler. He wants power. And he's even willing to go so far as to kill Aladdin to achieve this. And then that brings us into our magical element. And I feel as if there's multiple magical elements, but one of them would be the genie, who can make Aladdin's all his dreams and wishes come true. And then we have Abu, who's a talking monkey. I mean, he talks a little bit, but we have the genie, who floats and can fly and vanish out of thin air. And then we have dancing and singing animals. And I feel for this film that setting plays a huge role, because setting also plays in with the moral. And the moral of the film is to never change who you are, because Aladdin thought that Jasmine would never love him or want to be with him because he didn't have the power or the money as the rest of the people in the village, and he didn't come from a kingdom. He wasn't a prince. But we see that setting plays a huge role for that, because by setting we can see that that Aladdin is from a lower class life by his home, and we see that he has stolen a bunch of his furniture, and we can just see the life he lives compared to when we go to Jasmine's palace, where we can see how she's giving everything she's ever wanted. She doesn't have to work for anything. Everything is there handed to her, and she even has people working for her. So we see that help with the moral, because we see how Aladdin came from nothing and was still able to fall in love, have Jasmine fall in love with him and be with him. And then that brings us into our conflicts, and there's many conflicts that arise during the whole film, but one of the main ones is towards the end of the film, when Jasmine, she wants to become Sultan of the kingdom, which means ruler, and she wants to marry Aladdin. But the problem is that in her kingdom, as of now, females cannot be sultans, and a princess has to marry a prince. So the conflict that her and her father have to face together is how they're going to keep Jafar from taking over, how they're going to abolish both laws so that she can marry Aladdin and become sultan. And which she does, they achieve that, and she does end up becoming sultan, and her and Aladdin end up with our happily ever after, to where they're together and she achieved both of those conflicts. And Jafar is not in the picture anymore. And now to applying the concepts of structuralism. And I feel like structuralism played a really big role into this film with the binary concepts. And the first binary concept I wanted to go over was masculine. And I feel like lust is a form of masculine binary. I feel like people look at that as to be that. And so we have Jafar with the masculine and lust. He thinks that he can simply own and be in charge of Jasmine because he is a male and he comes from a rich society. But we have the lust, where Jasmine, she uses his lust to trick him because they need Aladdin to take back the oil lamp from him. And he falls into the trap. And then I feel like another binary opposition that would go against the traditional ones is because Jasmine, at the end, she becomes ruler, the sultan of her kingdom. And I feel like in most traditional films, we don't really see women becoming the rulers or the power at the end. And I feel like that was really great of Disney to add in there, because she had to go through a lot throughout the film and she was put in a lot of tough situations. And then another one is right before Jasmine does abolish the laws to marry Aladdin and become sultan, she agrees to be Jafar's wife, and she has to do this to save her father. And I feel like this fits into the feminine binary, because women, I feel like, are always making sacrifices in most traditional films for their families. Like, we see the single moms that have to work 3 jobs to support their families. And I feel like that by Jasmine making that sacrifice, that shows that it goes along with most feminine binaries to do anything and everything to save her family and save her father. So yeah, that's my analysis of the Aladdin remake in 2019 by Disney, and bye guys.